one trick I give, this is a free trick. I normally give it throughout the session. When you're clear on your mission or your ambition, right? Who you want to become. I said, write it, read it, and live it. So that's one trick.
Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about the meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up.
Hello, and welcome to Bombastik Broadcasting with Kat, Kim, and Sue.
Welcome to the Bombastik Broadcast, where we believe in shining the light on all things bombastic and illuminating the folks who are stoking the fire in their souls one broadcast at a time. It is my joy to introduce you to our passionate and bombastic guest tonight, Coach Martin. So Coach Martin is his name, and his story is he's been in leadership, business, and consulting for 20 plus years. And where that started to kind of fall short, his mission now is to combine the business and coaching into a practical tools and application to make the businesses succeed. He's going to bring us some valuable insights and fresh perspective on business and entrepreneurship. And he's very passionate also about leading the youth. So we are so happy to have you here, Coach Martin. I know Kim, Sue, and I probably have 1,000 questions for you, but we're going to let you be able to speak on your own as well. So, Kim and Sue, you want to take it over a little bit?
Sure. Well, we've just been chatting a little before we started the podcast, and we're really excited to hear about your kick-ass ways of making entrepreneurship accessible to everybody. So tell us a little bit more.
Good. First of all, thank you very much for having me in the podcast. Always a pleasure. First of all, I like talk, so that's one thing. And two, I like sharing also what I know or inspire people along the way. So I think your podcast is a good fit here, and I'm excited to be part of it as well. So first of all, Kat, thanks for the introduction. Yes, I've been in the business for 20 plus year. I don't want to say 30, but 20 plus, right?
Sure.
And yes, I've been working with multinational. I've been working with startup company. I've been working with small SMEs. I myself started a few companies, closed. Some of them are still here where I'm based. And for the last couple of years, I really wanted to dedicate my career in helping people get access to entrepreneurship and make it more accessible, I say, to people who aspire. So I call them aspiring entrepreneur. And I'm going to talk a bit about who I'm meeting in my work or my line of work now. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, first of all, a lot of people ask me, what is that? I mean, what is an entrepreneur, right? And if you go Google it, or if you ask 100 people, you're going to have 100 answers. If you Google it, you're going to have probably 1,000 pages of what is an entrepreneur definition. But I like to make it simple. I'm a simple guy, right? So I like to make it simple. An entrepreneur is someone that recognizes a need in the market, develop a solution, and monetize it. As simple as that. There's a gap, there's a need. I'm providing something, I'm solving it, I make money out of it. So that's, in a simple term, this is what entrepreneurship is. I like to say it's not a job, it's not a career, it's a mindset. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. And across my years, actually, of meeting entrepreneur businessmen, I realized that there's 3 types of entrepreneur out there. The first type, I've been thinking about starting a business for 10 years. They've been talking about it, they've been dreaming about it. And in 10 years from now, they're still going to be dreaming about it and thinking about it. So they will never make the step because they are afraid, because they have their comfort zone, because they think they may lose something. So they will be dreaming, but that's it. So that's the first type. The second type, completely opposite. They're so eager to get rich fast that they will fall into all the traps that people's going to throw to them, right? And especially nowadays in the social media, I've seen that every single day. People say, "Oh, I made millions out of my program. I show you how. Give me 10,000," right? Or
Yeah.
I've been able to my favorite one. I've been able to take $100 and convert in $10,000 in 1 week. Give me the money. If it was true, it's 100 time, right? So 100 time 100 is 10,000. Then second week, 10,000 become a million. Third week become 100 millions, and the fourth week become 1 billion. So you're telling me if I give you $100 at the end of the month, you give me $1 billion? But unfortunately, people, oh, that's a pure math, right? It's very logical. But some people are so eager to make money fast. They're just going to throw $100. Yeah, give me the money, right? And they never see the 100 bills, of course, never again. So this is the second type. They eager, they naive, and they're going to fall for everything. And at some point, they say, yeah, it's not for me, right? I'm never successful. And the third type are smart. They're not naive. They fear not. They will start a business. But this is where I come in. They don't know how. Where do I start? From the external perspective, being an entrepreneur, starting a business seems very, very complex. We just a minute ago, before recording, we talked about website design, right? When I first started my first business, people come to me, I'm going to charge you 10,000 for your website. I'm going to charge you 15,000. And I said, I don't have the money. I just started. So I decided to do myself. And I learned, and now I can do website within 1 day, and it cost me $50. So if you come to me with, hey, I'm gonna charge you 10,000 for it, fuck off. I know what I'm talking about, right? You cannot fool me. So this is what entrepreneurship looks very difficult, very complex when you're not into it. But when you start digging and break it down in pieces, it's quite simple actually. So there's a process to it, and this is where, as a coach, I guide entrepreneur. I guide them into. First of all, it's a mind. Like I said before, entrepreneurship is a mindset. So you need to have the right mindset of way of thinking. Then comes the skills. I mean, the skills everybody can learn, right? So you can watch some YouTube, read some papers. You can even take some classes to complement what you're missing or the gaps you have. But it's not that difficult. Unfortunately, what people fear the most is what they hear about. And they hear about entrepreneurship for people that are not entrepreneur most of the time. So they just, I want to do it, but I'm so scared. And there's a couple of myths that I like to debunk with people when I first talk to them. I can give 2 or 3, for example. One is people say, I really want to do it, but I have no money. I cannot start a business. It's wrong, right? Of course, it helps. If you have money, you can go bigger and faster. But I've met people with a lot of money that put into a business and fail within 1 year. They just don't know how to manage a business. They have the money. On the other side, and sometimes I give the example of myself. When I was a kid in Canada, it snows a lot, right? I was 8, 9 years old when there's a snowstorm. I go outside with my friend, take my shovel and knock at the door. I say, give me $5. I drive, I clean your driveway, right? I do this 4 or 5 times and I get my money. This was a business in a sense. I didn't have any training or business school or any money to start it. I was just doing business. So do you need money to start business? No. Some people start with absolutely nothing and then build empire. And some with a lot of money lost everything. Money is a facilitator, is a fuel. We can go faster, bigger, possibly better. But it's not mandatory to be an entrepreneur, right? The second one that I love is I'm too old to start a business. I'm too old to become an entrepreneur. And that's completely wrong. Yes, if you're young, there's some advantage. You're more energetic, you're more creative, you feel nothing, you're going to fail and you don't care. As if you get older, you have this fear and you're more careful, right? But if you get older, you're more confident, you have a bigger network, and you know about people, you know what to do about people. So there are some advantages. And I like to give 3 examples of successful people really inspire me. The first one is Sam Walton, Walmart, right? Sam Walton opened the first store at 44 years old. Wasn't young. 44 years old, opened the first Walmart. Ray Kroc started McDonald's franchise at 52 years old.
Okay.
And Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, he was 60 actually. He was just turning 60 when he started his first franchise or start making chicken and snap chicken. So there's no such thing. I'm too old for that, right? You're never too old to become what you always want to become. And that's something that I work with entrepreneurs, not only with young people, but with older people that want to do it. It's just a mindset. If you want to do it, you can do it. You just need to overcome your fear and you need to get some kind of a guidance of what are the steps. And this is what I do also as a coach, is I guide people from the get-go. How do you get from the dream of wanting to be an entrepreneur until launching your own business? And there's a lot of process there. And tell me if I talk too much, just stop me. But
No, great.
so just to explain a bit of the process, or the mistake that many people make, is they say, I'm going to start a business, I get 10,000 grand, and I open up a coffee shop, for example. And then they fail, and they don't know why. And the reason why, most of the time, is it's not aligned with you. It's not aligned with your passion. It's not aligned with your ambition. So when I coach people, when I take someone into the coaching, let's say, program, the first thing we do for about 1 month is we work into your aspiration, your dreams, what you want to become, what success will look like. So your arrival point, let's say, right? And this needs to be very, very clear, because when you have a business, it should support your lifestyle, it should support your dreams and ambition. And if you don't, you become a slave to your own company, and you're just going to be like a worker, but you pay yourself and you have more stress, and probably pay yourself less than if you have a job. So there's no difference. It's just getting more miserable because it doesn't support you. You're a slave. That's as simple as that. So you need really to identify what you really want in life. And this is the coaching part of my program. So coaching people, making them realize what you really want. And for some people, is money. There's nothing wrong with that. So I want to get rich. I want to have $1 million per year in 5 years. Fine. Then we design the business according to this. But there's trade-off, right? So you cannot be rich and be stress-free. Or you may say, I want to have a quiet life in the next 5 years and half retire. Yeah, but the type of business you're going to start, you cannot open a nightclub if you want to do this, right? So there's some misalignment into your mission and your ambition. So this is why I coach, what I teach, is make it very clear where you want to go. And one example, not example, but let's call it an example. I like to compare entrepreneurship as a new car GPS, right? I'm buying you a Mercedes tomorrow. We sit down, I give you the key, and I'm telling you, let's go. Let's go somewhere. And then you're going to tell me, where do we drive, right? You have a new car, you have a GPS, so let's go. And probably what happened is you're going to drive the car around the block a couple of times and go back to where you started, because you don't know where you go. So, but if you have a GPS, you put the destination on it, then nobody cares. This is where we go. We're clear. Yes. Boom. We drive and then we get there. Whatever happened, you get a roadblock. You take the wrong exit. You get out 5 minutes to pee and you need to get out. The GPS will always recalculate it to where you're going. And this is what a mission is in entrepreneurship. The same thing will happen if you're clear. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect plan, right? It always fails. So you're going to face roadblock, you're going to face resistance, your customer base will change, the economy will be more difficult, you're going to have new regulation that pop in your face. So you're always going to have something throw at you. But if your mission is clear, if your end game is clear, then you're going to reroute yourself and rebuild the business accordingly. So this is the importance of having a clear mission. This is what I teach also, not only the young people, but the older crowd being coaches. Just be clear, and don't get influenced by the social pressure. I'm coaching someone in Africa now, and she was saying, I want to make a difference in the world and do my companies, help people, and so on. I say, yeah, really. This is what people expect you to tell. This is what your family expect you to say. This is what your children would like you to say. But really, and then when we work into 1 or 2 weeks of digging and asking questions, that's not what she wants. I mean, yes, she wants it, but what she wants is get out of her misery and get a comfortable life and have her own house. And so this is the real thing, right? But most of the people, when we ask them about what you want to achieve, they're gonna say whatever the social pressure or your education would expect you to say. So just be honest with yourself. It's just, if it's money you're after, it's money you're after. There's nothing wrong with that. If you truly want to make a difference, that's fine. But be aware that the level of money you're gonna get will be also limited. So this week also, I'm coaching a young guy from Myanmar, from Asia. And his true passion is that because Myanmar is a civil war now and so on, so we really want to build social enterprise. But I made him realize that if he does, he's not going to get a salary probably for the next couple of years. He's fine with that. But he thought that, yeah, we can do this as a company. I'm going to make money and help people. No, you need to make a choice here. Doesn't mean you cannot do both, but you need to be very, very clear on what is your destination, right? So where you want to go. And this is where
I
go ahead,
have
sorry.
to say, because all this information is so great to give everybody a chance to digest as well.
So I talk too much, huh? Yeah.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I want to say that I really appreciate that you're addressing, most people think, a business coach, it's going to get right to the business plan, right? And back to business school. And here we go,
Yeah.
put on your glasses and take your notes. But I love that you're addressing the part of what you want, because in today's culture, I don't think that we're asked enough. What do you want? What do you really want? And when you start to have that conversation, the first things that come out might be maybe what we've been programmed to want or think we should want. Yeah. So I really appreciate that you're digging deeper into the passions that people have and uncovering that for them. And two, I love the GPS. I'm a big fan of having a SMART goal. If you've heard of do you use the SMART goal system at all? That specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Because if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where you are honestly now, you're not going to know where you want to go and how you're going to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So kudos.
If you keep that analogy, right? The GPS is your destination, is your goal. Where you are now is the self-analysis of this is who I am, this is what I'm, my situation, and the route the GPS take is this is your business plan, this is your strategy, right? So this will be defined only if you have a destination. And I've to be honest, I've worked with big multinational companies as well, and you get there and they say, yeah, we have a strategy. I say, okay, but where are you going? What's your plan? I don't know, but we're gonna do this. So how do you know it's gonna be successful or not? I mean, because we follow the plan. It's the plan may be wrong, so you don't know because you have no destination. So absolutely right. We need to start with the end. Basically, you start with where you want to arrive and when, and then to your point, the business plan is very tactical, is very practical, but you're gonna have to reverse engineer it. So where do I want to go? Where I am now, and how do I fill the gap? This is the business plan. Who do I sell? What is my business model? Do I do online only? Do I do physical? Everything needs to support what your ambitions are.
And where are you located right now, Coach Martin? And how did you get there?
I am in Thailand now. I'm based in Bangkok for the last 2 years. How I get there? That's a long story. Well, basically, I've lived in 10 different countries. I lived and worked in the 10 different countries. Although I have a long-term goals and a plan, it's much longer than just 3 years, more like 10, 15 years. And everything I do, I'm quite intentional. So when I do something, when I speak to someone, when I develop myself, when I live in a certain place, I always have in mind, does it fit where I want to go in the future? And sometimes it's a small detour, right? So because the life happens. I just got divorced 2 years ago, kind of starting, lost many things, starting again. So life happened, but I never lose sight of where I'm going, where I want to end up. And Bangkok is part of the plan too. I'm from Canada. I hate winter. I don't like cold. I don't like snow. And since I'm young, I always say I want to live in a tropical country. Some like I want to wake up every morning and wear shorts if I want to. Well, now I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I have a shirt and I have shorts, right? bare feet naked now. So this is to answer your question. I'll get there was a bit of a aspiration and opportunity. In life also you create your own opportunity. And Thailand, I've visited many countries, probably over 50 countries in my time. And Thailand was always one of my favorite one for many reasons, for the people, for the food, for the weather, whatever. And when I had an opportunity to start some businesses and get relationship here, I said, okay, Thailand, I can start something here because although I'm not there, I can start, building some bridge and so on. And over time, I had some businesses here. And when something happened in my life, this was a safe place for me. So I had already friends and relationship and some something to do here. So it was a natural move for me, but kind of a natural move and consciously planning over time. And this is, I'm here today because it's part of my plan, right? If I can put it this way.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're a wonderful part of our plan.
I don't know if you have another question lined up, but I'm dying to ask. With the GPS example, which I love, can we talk a little bit about the roadblocks and the detours? Because when you know where you are and you know where you want to go, that's one big step. But then those detours and roadblocks, and like you say, it's a mindset. You want to get there. What do you do when that comes up? Do you change your plan? What do you do?
Oh, yeah, of course. I like to say there's no such thing as a perfect plan, right? And I've met that, especially with big corporation. People fall into what I call analysis paralysis. They will wait until everything is perfect. They will, especially corporate America, they send you back and rework and send to the boss again and rework. They kind of buying time because they don't want to get involved too much. And they want something to be perfect so much that after months, they wake up and say, okay, now we go. And then they turn around and 3 competitors have done it already and dominate the market. You're done. You think too much. So I like to say when there's a roadblock, there's different ways to look at it. First of all, take the time to be pissed if you need to be pissed, right? Like let your emotion take over for a day or two and get mad of it because shit happens, you don't like it. So don't try to ignore that. This is the natural aspect of it. So you face it, no problem. Take a step back, take a breath, and still thinking about the end goal. So how do you go around that? How you go under that? How you cope with that? And this normally I like to teach people, how do you break it down in details so small that it becomes just a annoyance? It's not a roadblock anymore, right? And if you're creative, if you have that mindset of I'm going there anyway, I don't care what's in front of me, I'm going there, right? And I'll give you another analogy I like to use is like a river. A good entrepreneur is like a river. A river, you're going to throw rocks at it. You're going to put trees falling down. You're going to put a boat. The water is going there. It doesn't matter what's in front of it. They're going to go around the boat. They're going to go under the boat, over the rock, spill over if it needs to, but they're going to go down, right? And entrepreneur is the same thing. If you have your destination very clear, whatever happened to you, yes, you're going to be blocked for a bit. You're going to have to maybe step back, reflect, and rework your plan, if I can say like this, but you're going to go there anyway. So again, it's a matter of mindset. If you have the strong mindset and the attitude to say, no one's going to stop me, I'm going there, right? Try it. Try me. You can block me for a while. You can slow me down. You're not going to stop me. This is where I'm going. So that's why I'm saying that the entrepreneurship is really much about the mindset. It's not about the plan. It's not about the skills. The skills you can learn, or if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to hire people with the skill that you lack, right? Over time, you grow as an entrepreneur. You're not alone. Or if you want to work alone, then you have partners and you have a consultant and you have like coaches and mentors and so on. So you're never going to be alone if you don't want to be alone. But the most important is, are you committed to get there? That's the mindset. The rest is just annoyance.
Right.
Love that. Love that.
Yes, it is great. Now, do you go into things like the law of attraction, setting intentions, things like that?
I do actually. I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer of the law of attraction for sure. Positive thinking and so on. Am I good at? Am I good at it? I still have some work to do. I'd say. And I see. I'm in a coaching environment, so I come across different coaches all the time, and we coach each other and so on. And I'm seriously thinking into getting more training to manifesting and stuff like that. I'm a big believer. I think it helps. If anything, it helps your mindset.
Yes.
And so far it works for me. The positive attitude. If you think positive, something positive will happen. And if you think negative, then you're gonna find all the good reason, and you're gonna justify your reasons with facts. But this is not what you want to do, right? Unfortunately, that's a majority of people.
Yes.
It can be so subconscious too, which I've learned from, I'm lucky to have Sue and Kim as my friends because they're big positive thinkers. And if ever I'm subconsciously in a place where I'm being negative, sometimes you don't realize it. And they'll say,
Yeah.
you didn't mean that, you meant this. Right?
Yeah.
snap me out of it. And there was one spot where I'm an entrepreneur, and I love the river analogy because the detours, the trees came down, the rocks, and in my mind, I just kept telling myself, I felt the emotions, like you said. Took a couple days to pound sand and feel sorry for myself or whatever, and try to figure out a new plan. But it was always the same direction, the same goal, and my mantra was, the universe is conspiring to help me succeed. And it really helped, right? So whatever was being thrown at me, it was all part of my flow. It was all for my highest good because I could navigate around it to my goal.
And sometimes it's just simple words that are in the vocabulary that we've trained to do. And I'll give you another example where I correct people all the time. So people say, if I'm successful. No, not if you're successful, when you're successful. If I can build, no, when you build this. So it's just a simple word, but in your mind, it's not about if with the doubt, is when. So then you have a plan. Right. So one word changed sometimes the entire perspective. Now, I do for myself too. Sometimes I need to correct myself. So, okay, no, if I become, no, I will become a coach. So just positive thinking, I think.
Yeah. And do you have like a morning routine that you work with people on, or is it more just roadmap, setting up the roadmap?
To be honest, I don't have such a routine. I'm a bit of a mess, and I think it's a bit intentional as well. And I'm going to explain why. Part of we talk about my dreams, my ambitions, my end goal, right? I like slow morning, and I don't like plans too much. I like the go with the flow type of thing. And this is my aspiration. I want in 5, 10, 20 years, well, 20 years maybe too late, but let's say in 5 years from now, wake up and take my coffee and slow morning and read the news. And if I want to go for a walk, I want to for a walk. And if I want to start working at 9, I start at 9. Or, you still have some kind of a plan, but the plan really fit out, because sometime in the morning you wake up and I'm just not into it. I'm just going to do something else, something to inspire me. And other morning I'm at 6 and really sharp and say, okay, I need to do this, and I go for it. So I think it's intentional that I don't have a routine. I don't want to force myself into something which I'm just not feeling it, because I will not be productive. I will not be my full self and produce what I really want to produce. I think when you are in the mood, you're better for the outcome. So that's, again, I have some kind of routine where I need to wake up and take my coffee type of thing, but it could be at 6 or 6:30 or 7, sometimes 5:30. So it depends on how I feel or the last night.
Like that, because it's also so if you kind of have a routine and then it goes off the rails, then you kind of feel guilty for the rest of the day that you haven't done whatever
correct.
At 6 a.m.
So, I mean, I'm not against a routine because people have a certain lifestyle. But again, you know what? When I say I don't want to be slave to my own business, I also don't want to be slave to my own routine, right? So and sometimes if you're really into productive and achieving so much, and you need some kind of a drill. But this is not my aspiration, right? So for some people, yes, if you want to get something done in a very short time, you need to have a structure. You need to commit to yourself and need to make the agenda and the routine to do it. But you don't need to if this is not the end game, right?
Sure. And where are you getting your clients right now? Your coaching clients?
In different sources. I don't do a lot of marketing, to be honest, not promoting or anything, mainly through networking. So different, business groups or people that reach out to me, or people that my own network, or people that know someone that would like to get some coaching or something like this. So this is mainly where I source people. I recently think about, podcast could be a good source as well, because first of all, that's not the main reason. It's more like a derived outcome, I would say. But I like to, you can say I like to talk. And I like to talk. I like to share. I like to deliver value or help people or inspire people if I can to. But, if you look at not the hidden agenda, but one part of the benefit for me is people hearing these podcasts, I might inspire people to say, I'm interested, right? And then then I can get more clients through it. I do a lot of coaching for free, actually, just as part of my mission of helping people. For example, I'm coaching a young guy from the Philippines, about 20 years old, and guys have no money whatsoever. I come from, generations of poor people living in a slump, and this guy really have this, and he want to change things. He want to be the first in his family to achieve something. So I'm helping him, and I'm not charging anything for it. So yes, as long as he's dedicated, want to do it, then I'm gonna help him. Yeah, I cannot do for free for everyone because I still need to eat and pay my rent. But from time to time, I take clients like this. Yeah.
Very nice.
You can tell that you're passionate about all of this and definitely passionate about helping people. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that tell you or that have the mindset that they're not a business headed person or they didn't take a business class in high school or college? What do you say to those people? Do you need it?
I love this question, and this is one of the myths that I debunk also quite a bit. Actually, there's two myths here. One is entrepreneurs are born; they're not made. Absolutely wrong. It is true that some people just have this in them. They wake up in the morning. They know how to make money with everything, so they will think about selling and do business. They have this entrepreneurship spirit. Doesn't mean they're good at running a business. They may fail, but they have this feeling inside them that just I know people like this. They can make money with. They have so many ideas. Many of them fail, but they're not very successful. But they have this inside them. But everything else, like I said, the entrepreneurship is mindset and skills, right? Mindset, you can train yourself to think like an entrepreneur. This is what coaching do. And skills, you can learn easy. If you want to do something in marketing, then you learn about marketing. You do, you spend 2 hours per day on TikTok and on Facebook and read some YouTube or watch some YouTubes. You're going to learn about marketing. So the skills you can learn. So I would say, and I don't have real numbers on it, but my estimation is about 10% of entrepreneurs are born entrepreneur, 90% are made entrepreneur. So they're going to learn along the way. They're going to make mistakes. But if the mindset is, I'm going to get there, they will become an entrepreneur. So that's number one. The second one, I don't have education or don't have a MBA or business class or anything like this. To be honest, I have an MBA as well. I'm an MBA. I've done it quite late in life. And to be very, very transparent, I lost my money and I lost my time. I'm not against education, don't get me wrong. But in everything that I've learned through my MBA, I would say if I'm pushing it, 5% or 10% of it was valuable. 90% of it was crap. I didn't learn nothing. Everything is in good theory, but in real life, not really transferable. I mean, it's good concept, right?
Sure.
It's good to have the concept when you have the life experience. You can apply, you can compare, you can elevate your game. I'm not saying that education is wrong, but thinking that you need to have this to be successful is completely wrong. Completely wrong. You can become, again, it's a mindset. If you have a mindset of entrepreneur, you will do it. You will find your gap, you will find your weaknesses, you're gonna learn what you need to learn, or you're gonna hire people that need to support you along the way, right? If you're not good in marketing, you're not a good salespeople, then hire salespeople. So you don't need to be MBA for that. Or I mean, I've met master degrees in business. I met PhD in business, and they're just clueless when it comes to start a business. Absolutely, because they don't have that mindset, and they just but in class we learn we have to do like this, like a business plan. I like to teach business plan quite simple. You can do it in 1 page or 2 pages, but the MBA class teach you need to have 80 pages of business plan and analysis and stuff. I mean, this bullshit. When you do analysis, you look at the past. You don't look at the future. All the numbers, all the data, all the analysis, all the survey you made, this is a reflection of the past. So it's good to know the past, understand it, but you're not going back. You're going up. This is where you're going. So you need to understand what the future is going to look like and how you build toward that, not toward the past. This is the mistake that many people do. This is what they teach you in class or MBAs, do all kind of complex analysis and financial analysis and stuff. But this is not the requirement to become a businessman. That answer your question?
Well, that would be refreshing. Sorry, I just had to say that was very refreshing.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've been, very untraditional thinking, but I've also been telling my kids, there's no need for you to go to college. If you know that you want to
Yeah,
be XYZ, fine, go to college, but there's no need. You don't have to go to college to be
yeah,
100% as successful as your wildest dreams. Like, you don't
yeah,
have to, unless you want to be, a college professor or something, then obviously you have to have a
yeah.
degree. You know,
We can go
you
on
don't
and on with the college. Again, I'm not against education. Very the
no, me
opposite.
neither.
I'm
Same.
pro education, but the education system as we have today. I mean, there's probably 2, 3 degrees that I would be happy to have. I mean, if you're a surgeon and you work on me, yeah, I'm happy you have a degree, right? Um,
Let you
but
Yeah.
beside the very, very technical thing, there's no need for it. And I think the education system is really, really outdated. It's a big machine to make money, and it's not paying back, right? It's not adapted to today's. They don't teach people how to think. They teach about you should be doing this, 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 this. But every single day now, life's changing, and you see what's happening with AI. AI is booming, is
yeah.
exploding, and people are still scared of it. Even in a university or MBA, they say, you cannot use it. It's a fuck off. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
future. In 5 years from now, if you don't know how to deal with it, you're dead. You cannot have a job, you cannot work, or you cannot have a business. So I invite people now. I myself use it every single day, and the more I use it, the more I recognize it's useful. I'm not afraid of it. If you're afraid, you don't. Like take Excel and PowerPoint and Word. 10 years ago, people say, "Oh yeah, he's gonna steal my job." Today, if you don't know how to use it, you're dead. You cannot do anything. The same will happen with AI. So the schooling system, education system, is tailored into the era of factory and manufacturing, where everybody learned the same thing because you need productive and so on and so forth. That doesn't exist anymore. So the system never changed, but the world changed. And unfortunately, especially in the US, they charge a fortune, and you're gonna get your degree, and you'll be in debt until you're 38, 40 years old. Meanwhile, you're working 10, 15 years just to pay your debt. And this is just a paper. And the more paper out there, the less value there is, right? 20 years ago, if you have an MBA, I'm someone, I can get a big job, right? Today, everybody has one.
Yes.
So what's the value, really? You're going to get an MBA and work as a janitor in the school, right? So that's true.
Could be. If you have the right mindset, right? Or the wrong mindset, as it were.
Yeah, correct. But this is the reality. Unfortunately, that's the reality.
You know, as Coach Martin said, that it would be really nice if our kids, high school even. I know a lot of our kids are overwhelmed. They don't know what they're going to do. They're maybe
Yeah.
juniors or seniors, and there's pressure. Do I go to college? Do I not? Do I join the military? What do I do?
Yeah.
But they really don't even. They've never been asked, what do you like? What do you
Yeah.
enjoy doing? What have you tried? Some people learn
Exactly.
tactily with experience, and you just made me think about that a little bit more, because it'd be nice if there was some kind of a college of life,
Yeah.
that could
True.
enroll in for a minimal fee and start actually applying, like you save in business and entrepreneurship, until the things that you've learned, in your 20 plus years, but maybe weren't easily applied to help people succeed. It'd be nice to have
Yeah.
an application school of life.
Correct. And I think it's not only the role of schools, probably the role of parenting and society in general. The problem is, and I've met a lot of people like this in the past. Like my young kid in the Philippines now, he said, I really want to get something. I want to make a difference. Right? I want to become somebody else, not like 3 generations ago. But he told me, when I tell my dream to my parents, they get mad at me. They said, "No, you're gonna get a job like everybody else, and get a kid and get a house." And so when we're born in society, we have a roadmap to follow, right? You need to go to high school, then you go to college, you get your degrees, get a wife or a husband, get a house, get a car, and then get a good job, and then you're successful. This is not success. For some people, it is. For me, my definition of success: I wake up in the morning, I'm happy to start my day, I'm excited. This is success. As simple as that. I don't need to have big car, big house, or I'm just going toward what I really want to do. This is my passion, and if I do what passionate me every day, I never work. This doesn't work. This is fun for me, right?
Yes.
But the majority of the kids are raised into that framed to say you're gonna have to do this and this and this, and by 18 you need to be in college, and if by 22 you don't have a house yet, what are you guys doing? And if you're not have a kid by 27, what's wrong with you, right? So there's a defined mindset, which is like a I would say cookie cutter type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it doesn't respect who you are, and that's why there's so many people going in depression and getting in close to retirement, or call it midlife crisis, for example, right? People say at 40 they just blow up. I say, what did I do for the last 30 years, right? I lost. This is not who I am. This is not what I want. And then they go do something crazy, but sometimes yes, it's too crazy because it explode, right? They don't have the time. Nobody never asked them, what do you really want? Not the society, not the pressure, not the wife, not the children, not the mother, or what do you want? And I hope we can teach that in school. But again, it would be probably gonna meet a lot of resistance, because this is not what the school system is about. This is not what the parenting of society is about. They want everything to be following a certain step. And you see, if you look at a successful entrepreneur in the world, not only in the US, in the world in general, they are outliers. They are rebels. They are people that don't follow the norm. They don't follow society. And they are successful because of that. They don't care about what people think. I'm going there. You're on the train or you're not. I don't give a shit. I'm going there, right? And this is what makes them successful. Not the social pressure or the regulation and stuff. Even regulation, they find a way to go around that.
But we do love an outlaw sometimes, don't we? Well, and when you were talking about the house and the timeline and the married and the kids, and it just made me think of that Talking Head song. Do you know the one like Same as It Ever Was? And he's like, this is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
I so play that right now for us. Anyway, thanks for that.
And society's looking set up for everybody to be in so much debt by the age of 30 that all they do is go to work and pay into the system and just walk on the treadmill.
Exactly. And I think it's getting worse and worse now. The economy, the cost of living, accessibility to housing and everything. I look at it and say, how if I'm born now in this generation, I think I'm depressed by 18, right? I'm looking at what I need, what's possible, what's not. I'm depressed. And that's why a lot of when I said at the beginning, when I said at the beginning, a lot of people fall into a trap of quick money rich because they don't see the future. They don't see any successful. And then everybody look at, the saving line as, what can I do? And someone come with a magic plan. So, hey, you're going to make millions if you pay me something. And at this age, at 16, 17, 18 years old, you probably don't have the strength enough to say, yeah, that's bullshit. They are born on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook, and everything out there looks like reality, right? It's not. But this is their reality, and they will believe everything. And a lot of people take advantage, a lot, unfortunately.
Well, and to stay on the positive, because this is all very true and very applicable, but the positive, if you're talking to some kids right now that are watching this podcast, or some inspired adults who, might have been in that category of dreamer, like you mentioned earlier, but are never going to get around to make their entrepreneurship or their business happen. So what is the first step? Obviously, it's calling Coach Martin and, getting on the program, because we all want to do that right now and support him. But if, say you're the kind of person who already has your business idea, you're already kind of the river, but you don't have maybe the plan, where do you start?
I will challenge that. If you come to me to say I have a business idea, I will challenge that. I will probably break it down. Because you probably, most of the people never go into the first step. The very first step is to look into what you really want, what you want to achieve. I'm Martin 1.0 here. In 2030, I will be Martin 2.0. Who is Martin 2.0? Where does he live? What do we wear? What time we wake up? What do we eat? So you need to be very, very clear. Again, it's a GPS, your destination, what you want to achieve. Because the business that you will create or develop will be supporting that, will be to achieve your goal. And a lot of people make the mistake. For example, I've been working as an accountant for 20 years. I'm going to start an accounting company because I know it. And people fall into a trap of making their business based on their skills, not about what they want to achieve. So the very first step that I will tell to anyone, even if you say, I have a business idea, how do I do it? I'll say, forget it. We're not going to talk business the first month. We're going to talk about who you want to become, where are you going, and I'm going to challenge every single of your assumption. This is the power of soul coaching, is you don't realize that some of the things you think are assumptions. They're not true. And for example, say, yeah, I'm going to need to have a house. Who said that? Why? Why do you need to have a house in 5 years? Is it what you want? And if it does, what are the implications of having a house and before and after, right? So I'm going to challenge every single assumptions that you have until we very, very clear at the basic. This is inside you, your feeling, your aspiration, the true you. Who are you? Who you want to become in 5 years from now? And then, and only then, we're going to work the second step, which is what type of business suits you best to achieve that. Not the business that suits you, what you know now, who you are today, the business that suits who you want to become. And then the third part of it, the third block, is actually the actual business. So the business model, business plan, and so on and so forth. This is a lot of details, of course, but this is detail. You need to have the solid foundation first, then you build a house. You're not going to build a 3-story house on mud, because you might go fast, but in 5 years from now, you have a earthquake or rain, and everything's going to crumble down. But if you take the time to have a very solid, concrete foundation, then you can build 20-story on it, no problem. This is safe, right? So this, as an inspiration to anyone who's thinking about having a business or getting into entrepreneurship, first of all, think, and yes, of course, a coach would help. But if you don't want to do it, start thinking about who you want to become. Forget about your parents and families and friends and society or school. Forget about anything. Think about your dream. What is your dream really inside you? What makes you feel passionate? And then you can start designing about who you are today versus where you want to go. What are the skills gap? Do I need skills to get there? Do I need to change my mindset to get there? Do I need to grow up to get there? And then you do everything step by step. But at first, start with your destination. Where are you going?
Great advice. Great advice.
Mhm.
GPS analogy was spot on, and that just followed that.
That's right. Well, this is
Simple
very
to understand,
inspiring,
I think.
for sure. Very inspiring. So you've been thinking about coaching for a really long time, though, right?
Yeah, at least I would say at least for 5 years that I've been thinking I should do it full time, because I really love it. I love the human aspect of it. I like the inspiration aspect of it. It also makes me better, right? Because when you teach something, it
Yes.
makes you reflect. If I want to inspire someone, I'm gonna have to find the right words and the right mindset, and it helps me along the way. So the more I coach, the better person I become also. So it's also part of my plan, right? But yeah, the coaching, I've been thinking about it for years. And if you want to do it successfully, even though I know a lot of things and have a lot of experience, I decided also to do my certification as professional coach as well, just to give it a bit more structure, a bit more credibility behind it. And then again, combining with what I know, so it's become very powerful. So I have the coaching tools, the proven coaching tools, with the proven life experience and business experience combining together.
Amen.
And do you have specific people that really inspired you during your life?
Come again?
Do you have any
I can't
specific
hear.
people that really inspired you during your life?
Specific people?
Who inspired you? Who
was your inspiration? Who were your?
I would say anyone and everyone. Anyone and everyone. No, seriously. When you open to talk to people, when you listen, not only listen to answer, but when you listen to understand, you see that every single people have someone to teach you, inspire you. People that go through something rough in life and overcome it. Someone that has big dreams and dream much bigger than you do. Someone that achieves something that you never thought, oh, wow, this guy is really young and already achieved this. Yeah, I mean, there's no one specific person in life or in business whatsoever, but people that I've met through the life, and I take the time to understand what they've done, why they've done it. And sometimes it comes also for the why, right? Your inspiration inspire me. I get inspired by very old people, and I get inspired by kids alike, right? So there's no single person. There's really every single one has someone as something inside that can inspire the other. And I think your podcast also kind of achieved that. Is you can get inspiration from different type of people, different life experience. Could be business, could be life, could be overcome a personal challenge or anything. Anything could inspire you if you just open at absorbing that inspiration.
There's
So
that
I have to say,
mindset.
I've probably had 1,000 coaches in my life, in a sense.
Oh, no.
Yeah, seriously.
So
Yeah.
true. I have to ask you this, and you do not have to answer if it's too personal. And it's not whether you're really wearing pants or not. I believe you are wearing shorts. Who do you want to become? Because how you said it, like the first step in business, and you knowing that you love the coaching and the business. So who do you want to become? Would you share that with us?
Yeah, for sure. In different aspects. So who we want to become also have let's say financial aspect, as a lifestyle aspect, as a value or belief aspect. So or the financial, yes, I want to be financially free. I don't want to get rich or billionaire. I don't care too much about money, but I want to be comfortable. I want to live in a nice place, maybe a decent car, and get to it. For me, being rich is if I want to go eat a steak, I go eat a steak. I don't have to think, do I have the money or not. If I want to go on holidays for a weekend, I go, right? So I don't have this is the type of financial freedom I want to achieve. So that's number one, who I want to become. The second one is lifestyle. For like I said before, I like slow morning and I like not having a routine. So if I can afford to do this, I wake up. If I wake up at 9, I wake up at 9. If I wake up at 5 and go work out, I go work out. So this is where I'm leading toward. I would say my ambitions. I'm on a way there actually. And then the third part is being able to make a difference for people. This is my contribution to the world or to people. And again, not only for the young generation, for the older one, people my age or even older than me. And can I inspire you enough that you're gonna make a step, and maybe you're gonna fail, but if you, I like to say, if I make something and I fail, I prefer doing this than thinking about it and never do it and regret later. So if I can just inspire people to do something, and normally people you will fail for sure. Everybody fails, but you have to see it as a learning. So so my life ambition is inspire enough people, and practically speaking, yes, I want to do the coaching like this. I like to become also more as a speaker, like doing keynote events and stuff like that. This is something, one of my dream. I'm not there yet. I need to practice talking. The English is not my first language to begin with. So when I said before, so yeah, French is my first language. So I speak French, not English. I learned English about 25 years old. But one thing that relate to it is, as I said before, when you have an end goal, you look at what you want to become, where you are today, and then you fill the gap, right? And I know my English is not perfect. Way of talking, I need to improve quite a bit. So what I do to achieve that, I go to podcasts, I do presentation, I talk to people a lot. So all these things, and I have a TikTok account here in Thailand. I'm quite famous now with 20,000 followers. But I practice in front of the camera because I want to listen to myself later and say, I sound like this. Oh my God. And then I get to look at myself in the mirror and see what's wrong. And then, practice and get better and get better. So this is a way to achieve it. But my end goal is I want to be able to be a very good speaker, do keynotes, inspire people through words and actions and speeches. And yeah, this is where I'm going. Very simple.
You are well on your way.
Thank you.
So at Bombastic Broadcasting, we do like to say a rising tide lifts all boats. So what could we and the audience do to support you on your journey, Martin? I'm sure we'll post a link to your coaching in our podcast. Yes, in our podcast.
Yeah, well let's say my coach. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, and I'm not. I don't like bullshit, right? So I said at the beginning, the first intention here is three things. One, I just told you I want to practice. I want to get a better speaker in front of people and so on. So that's achieved. Number two, I want to inspire people. I want to share what I know. And hopefully through that podcast, the people listening today, they will be inspired in some ways. And then, of course, what's in it for me, practically speaking, is people that say, yeah, I'm the third type of entrepreneur. I want to do something. I need help. I need support. Coach Martin, can you help me? And this is where people can support me as well, is contact me. And we have, normally I do the free session, session for free, kind of explore what you really want. And being an entrepreneur, I also have the ability to say no as much as I can say yes, right? And if I because there's a limitation in my time, I cannot coach more than I put myself a goal, 10 to 15 people per month maximum. The reason being is I still want to be true to myself and having this kind of lifestyle where I don't want to book myself from morning to night and be stressed about my next session and so on. So I'm going to select who I'm going to be coaching, and the selection will be made based on, are you really true? Are you serious about becoming an entrepreneur? If you are, I'm going to help you too. You're going to become successful. If you just want to do it because you want to explore, then I probably after the first session say, yeah, you better have to do some work before, or maybe entrepreneur is not for you, right? So how people can help me? Yes, reach out to me. I'm going to provide you the link of my website or my email or something. Then yeah, people are, just reach out and we have a talk and see if it's a good fit or not.
Fantastic. I love that. And I'm sure all of our listeners and watchers are going to write down on their little paper or lipstick on their bathroom mirror the who they want to become in preparation and inspiration after talking with you tonight and meeting you. I know I am. One is financially, lifestyle, and life ambition. Who do you want to become?
Correct. And one trick I give, this is a free trick. I normally give it throughout the session. When you're clear on your mission or your ambition, right, who you want to become, I said, write it, read it, and live it. And I suggest strongly to people, write it in a short sentence, frame it, put it somewhere you're going to see every day. Where you brush your teeth, for example, in a bathroom, you brush your teeth, you read it. You go to bed, you read it. You need really to commit yourself. And if you read it every single day, this is a commitment you make for you, for yourself, right? If you true to yourself, you're going to read it, you're going to remind every single day, 2 times per day, who you want to become. So that's one trick I think that because if you just do the exercise and then you go to work and do something, take care of the kids, you forget, right? But if every morning or every night you brush your teeth and read that little sentence, this is me now. And one other tricks I like to give, again, a trick for free. But if you struggle about what you want to become, there's 2 things I like to help people with. The first one, even for me, if you ask me what you want to become, sometimes it's difficult. And you get this from the young age. People ask you, what do you want to become in life? Fuck, I'm 6 years old. How do I know, right? And then you go to college and say, what do you want to become after? People don't know most of the time. So start with what you don't want. You don't want to work 9 to 5. You don't want to live in this city. I want to get out, right? Start with what you don't want, and it's going to help you define what you want. That's number 1. Number 2 is, if you want to define properly who you want to become, do the exercise in your head. Let's say you're in 2030 right now, and the 2024 Kat is coming in town, and you're going to meet her for lunch, and you have to tell her what happened. Holy shit, you'll never get believe it. Kat, this is who we are now. This is what happened. This is everything that we've done in the last 6 years, right? So you're proud of yourself in 2030 to tell this young kid in 2024, it's amazing what happened. And the story you're going to tell to you 2024 is who you are in 2030. So think about it this way. How do you define who you are? Okay? So that sometimes it helps people to think, because just putting the word together, sometimes it's a bit out of context.
We're totally going to do that exercise, aren't we? We're totally going to do that.
Already going around for sure.
And 2030 people's paying for lunch, by the way.
Okay.
Committed to that. What a dream. What a time we've had with you, Coach Martin. I just want to say thank you. Thank you again. Thank you on behalf of everyone that you've touched, and share this broadcast and reach out to Coach. Bombastic.
For all the listeners. Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Thank you, Martin. Okay, that's it from Bombastic Broadcasting. Always remember, be cool, be kind, be groovy.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up. My man Mo said that the reason that the world fucked up is cause everybody lazy. Positivity is corny to them, but they still gon' complain about the bad going on, shit crazy. So I just had to drop a little project. I don't know what the object is, but this feels good. If you too hood for the good vibe, sorry I ain't got nothing for you, why should I?
You shouldn't. We out here doing the things that y'all wouldn't. Life could be a sweet ride, proof is in the pudding. These guys with the weak vibes, I'll show them where to put it. Down bad, I was looking for the answer. Mind all mad, taking over like a cancer. Canceled the sub plans, came from up above. Told me everything we doing, showing love, and I gotta
wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining. You keep grinding. Wake up. All is aligning. All you gotta do. Wake up.
I've been getting so high, head up in the clouds. I don't ever wanna come down, but I gotta
wake up.
Ain't enough time to be down. Bust a smile, cause it's yet another day that I'm allowed to
wake up.
Feeling blessed to be alive, man. Not long till we thriving. Take the time to remind yourself that it all starts inside yourself. Most.
Wake up feeling stuck every day, then you gotta realize that it's all in your mindset. Read about that meditation, you go get around to it, you just haven't had the time yet. Yeah, I bet. Best thing that you could invest in is you. Could have the results or could have the excuse. Only one life, so take care of what you choose. And I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Wake up. So much more in this world that you can do. Wake up. Every little thing in this life that you're going through don't mean a thing. Wake up. You keep shining.